Let's see, like, damn, fool, you got too much glare on one side of your face, dog. Nah, hey, what's up, guys? What's today? The 4th of September. My wife's birthday is nearing, and that's this weekend, actually. So, anyways, well, I'm gonna be all over the place. It's been a while since I have uploaded the video. This goes out to all my Urantia book readers. I don't care about anybody else at this point. I really am trying to reach out to you people, trying to keep somewhat keep in contact, keep you guys updated, and show you that I am very humanistic and on so many levels on reality that I just want you guys to feel a little bit more grounded on earth rather than thinking that you're above your rancha, like if you know what I mean. Like there's some people that, they really can't seem to get out of their little fantasy bubble that, they're meant to be this or that in this lifetime when the book clearly tells you you are who you really are right now at this moment. And we're all going to move on to bigger and better things. We're going to become finalitors, and we're also going to be in charge of bigger assignments like, when the next outer layer develops, starts having their own life on those planets, and things might be even more different over there. Who knows? Who knows? So I'm having a hard time I'm like figuring out how to title this video. I know I'm going to be just going on a rant and talk about things that's been going on lately in my life, what I have been doing to sustain not only a house, my cars, but being able to provide for my kids. Like, what do I do for a living, and how do I fuck off my weekends when I do have free time? So yeah, we're gonna be a little bit everywhere, guys. Like I said, I'm a real dude, and I think my philosophy when it comes to all this is, I think the individual is just as important as the topics that we need to discuss about, because I want to get to know where I'm getting my sources from, and where am I getting my information from? I've had people in the past who I looked up to influence me in such a way that deep down I know I would later regret because I disagree with their views, or I'll find out something that contradicts what they were saying later on down the road. So nowadays, as a 37-year-old man living in California, a very democratic state, and I try to be conservative just because I'm a Trumpster, and not necessarily conservative. I've never really, I don't really consider myself as a conservative. I think I'm more of like somewhere between independent and libertarian. And one thing about libertarians that I found out, and no, I don't mean this in a fucked up way or anything. I just think it's funny. A lot of them have a very similar character trait that they all share this in common, and it's the propensity to fucking argue like automatically. Like these people, but they're very informative. I think they read into things too much, and once they get together, it's like one person has is trying to open up a dialogue, and then you got another person over here trying to change the subject by trying to prove a point, or I don't know. It was just it can get crazy. With libertarians, I really do enjoy listening to their point of views, and I have found some that were pretty extreme, where I'm thinking, is this person a Democrat? And then I found some where it's leaning more towards like some neo-Nazi type shit. Like, no, and I'm not trying to say Republicans or nothing like that. That's too cliche-ish. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like offend anybody here who's a Democrat. Like, there's a lot of intelligent Democrats for sure. Like, for real, for real. Like, I've learned a lot from Democrats. All right, you guys have a very wonderful, amazing perspective coming from that side, and I agree with a lot of things that's going on too. That's something I really want to talk about as well, because I live in LA, and in the LA County, and I can talk about the shit that happened during the pandemic. I could talk about the riots. I could talk about what I experienced out here. Like, like from watching it on TV and having to step outside. You know what I'm saying? The city of LA, if I were to get in my car right now and I get on the freeway with easy traffic, I'll get there like in a good 25 minutes driving, you know? So I'm not that far from LA, just to give you guys a good idea. So we could talk about shit, dude. Like, dude, it's I don't care. I'm doing this not only for you, but with you. You know, this is I find a lot of Urantia book readers having a hard time realizing that our journey actually starts now. You know, and it's perfectly fine to fit into like on ground levels, and we could shoot the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like we could do that. Like come on, because I think a lot of them that I run into, especially those online, they do very well, by the way. Like I'm not trying to put them down so much like I did in the past. So it is water under the bridge at this point. My beef between me and the admins on Facebook, it's cool. Like I don't care, to be honest with you. I wish them a lot of good things. I wish them well in this life. Um, like I said, what I was trying to say is I find a lot of them to be sensitive on many areas, and I'll find those that are very sensitive to language. I'll find those who misinterpret the context that I put out. So it's like it's a hit or miss, and a lot of times when I get into it with some of these admins, it's really not intentional, to be honest with you. Like I because it's really hard for me to find a real Urantia book reader, and then you're on these people online knowing very well, like a lot of times they're not really telling the truth on their profile pictures. They'll show you a picture of what they look like, what they used to look like 10 years ago. That's not really how they look like right now. They look like shit, to be honest with you. They do, let's be honest. Some of them look pale. A lot of them are much older than the generation that I come from. um you know uh, and but these are people who have been reading the Urantia book for like 30 plus years, 25 plus years. you know um so that's still considerably more years. That's a bigger seniority than what I have. I've been reading for about 16, 18 years. What's okay? We're in 2000. No, I'm sorry. We're in 2024. I picked up the book in 2006. So what would that make? Yeah, 18 years. 18 years. 18 years I've been. But see, here's the thing. I wasn't. Oh, okay. Well, at one point here and there, like, uh, what's that word? Disparagingly, I think is the right word. I would read like at a committed level, and that will last me for like about a month. Or if I'm lucky, I'll be committed for 2 months of reading the book every day, like paper to paper to paper. Back. So, but then life catches up, and I have to go focus on other things, car issues, work schedule. I gotta go pick up my kids, doctor's appointments, yada yada. Right? All right, Louis. So where are you going with this? So, um, when I used to share some of my personal stuff with the folks online, I would get like a lot of wonky ass answers. Like some of it is some I have found very demeaning towards me, making it seem like I'm not allowed to bring up personal matters into the Rancher book groups. And I get it. I do. I really do. Like I can agree with you on that. But what hurts me on that part is because I have done it over and over again. Like I would repeat this pattern of bringing up something personal in my life, and I used to think that there were a lot of haters on these groups, but I think there's something else to it. Like I don't think they even know what that means. But I don't know. Like I think they miss out on on the fact that we are human. Like, just like how we all agree to come together under this one umbrella of the Urantia book, I think it's just as important to also get to know the individuals, just like how we got to deeply know and understand who the 12 original apostles were. And there's a paper dedicated to that, like how each individual of those of the apostleship were, like, some of them were married, some of them were too young, some of them were just very basic, very simple minded, and I think it was very good to know about that. And I feel like we should do that with one another as well, because I look, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm no angel, and I'm definitely, I don't consider my IQ level to be up there either. But I've noticed how I would admire someone's dedication to bring about the Urantia book, but then when I actually get to know them in person, these motherfuckers, some of these people are fucking whacked out. Like, they'll go around on other people's pages and shut them down because of something that they said on their profile picture, and that's fucked up. You're going around acting like an internet police. I call them trolls. I think you have a real fucking mental illness if you're gonna live and dedicate your life doing everything that you say you were gonna do, but online. Online. Like, this shit doesn't even pay us to, sustain the bills. Like, come on, grow the fuck up. And that's part of the reason why I stay away from the online forums, even though I'll be honest with you guys, like, once in a while I'll check back in and out, and I'll see what someone else had said underneath a special topic that I like to get into, something that borderlines, like something that goes in between what the Urantia book says, but you're trying to apply to a real life situation. You know, um, I'm I'm a fan of people quoting what the Urantia book says, but at the same time, like, on the same token, I don't like UB thumpers, if you know what I mean. Like, we have a lot of Bible thumpers or whatever thumper of whatever religion you follow, but I think it's cool. I think that kind of context is needed at the right time. But then you have those who just constantly quote the UB over it, like, just different quotes, like, but like every day. Like, I find that annoying. I'm like, dude, like, talk to me like a normal human being. If you're not a robot behind a computer somewhere, what do you call those, bots? Right? I don't know. So I'm back on being a lone wolf. And something about that, let me just kind of sidebar a little bit, is to bring in something that was bothering me for about a month now, for this last month. Ooh, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. Let's scratch my scab. Yikes. Okay. Um, I quit talking to a. Sorry, that's my neighbor. So I stopped seeing a Christian group, a men's Christian group, to be more specific, because this was a group that was put together. Um, they they were going in depth, not only with the scriptures, but also, like, applying it with real life situations. Or, like, when we would start the meeting, we would talk about each other's updates, like, how's everything been going in your life lately, how was it since we last seen each other, blah blah blah, things of that nature. And I really respected uh, that aspect of the meeting before we would get deep into this rabbit hole and everybody decides to choose a side and start expressing their own opinions about, like, what they really believe in out of the Bible and things. There were a lot of things that, of course, as a Urantia book reader, which they didn't really know at the time, I found a lot of things to be, like, kind of annoying. because I would, in my mind, I would fact check it with what I have read in the Urantia book. But of course, knowing what I know now, you can't do that with Christian people. You can't. And you definitely cannot, should not, and will not bring the Urantia book in these organizations. You can try to find an individual here and there, try to see like what they might think about if they're willing to be open-minded. Like I tried to get other folks on the Urantia books, people who I thought, well, let me give this person a try. Like if he shuts me down, I won't take it too hard, right? Because I sent him the invitation to come with me and check out the Urantia book. Then when they do, they kind of push the book away slowly and they walk away without telling me a damn thing. And I'm like, okay, all right, I get it, no worries. All right, I'm taking my L's. So after enough of that, it got to a point where um, we start bringing in individuals into this group from other churches, and they claim they're pastors or they claim they do this at the other churches. And so they automatically, for some strange reason, they get this kudos, like they're being put on this uh imagine this what do you call it, imaginary pedestal. And now the meetings, the Jesus, that's a little distracting. I hear my neighbors on the outside talking. What was I gonna say? So like the dynamics change within the group. Um, Half of the group members are looking up to newer people coming from other churches who they claim they're pastors of or whatever, whatever. And then it gets crazy from there because those supposed alleged pastors, Jesus Christ. Hold on, I'm gonna have to pause this. Okay, that's better. Yeah, my neighbor was doing all these like little crazy noises in the background. It was really distracting. Yeah, it was like I could hear it like right here because the window was right there, and it's open. So, anyways, so yeah, like all of a sudden, these new members from other churches who they claim to be pastors, or they claim to do something special at other churches, they start bringing in a cult like approach, especially when they want to bring up the Book of Revelations. I that's the one thing that I'm struggling with, guys. As much as I know from what I've read of what really happened in the other on the other side of this life with what John was seeing. Yet reading the Revelations from the Bible is a fucking headache. It's an eyesore. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and because I know that it was recovered from a burning building, like a burning library or whatever, however it happened, and they were trying to put the pieces together. Somebody made that final decision to just say, "All right, go ahead. Let's put this book, but all the way to the back of the bus. All right, like all the way to the back of the book." Um, let's not make this the main attraction, or like let's not make it seem like this is what Jesus really said. That this was only a vision of John, and because they couldn't really prove if if um if he really did have a vision. But he had followers. There were followers who really did love John. So, anyways, I'm sorry. So, that's what I know off the Book of Revelations. I wish we had the full thing, the completed package, right? Like, wouldn't you have wished to see that for yourself? Like what John had the other guy write for him? Like that would be dope. That would be dope. Just like when I've read the the Revelations according to Peter, like that one was a sick one. I like that one. So yeah, going back. See, this is what I mean. I sidetrack a little bit. No thanks for the fucking distraction. That shit kind of threw me off a little. All right, let me get back on track. Do what was it that made me want to walk away from that church was that I was trying to say that people who were coming from other churches would come to our group, and even though it was nice to see more numbers, but yet we started having a real division within the group. I started seeing members walking away because some some just didn't really quite want to admit that the group was changing, and so they would move away to another, and not not because the church is doing it, but people find jobs in other states, so they move away, and then they finally get to say, "Yeah, the group was all right, but I ain't going back." And we even have Zoom option to like meet up with this group. So I was at the end, I was doing the Zoom because I wasn't feeling too comfortable going over there anymore. I would have to sit down to so and so who I just had a beef with over a particular stupid fucking topic, and it just got really awkward. And the last time I was there, the last time I was there. We had this dispute over um, how far you could take it with the Book of Revelations, and there were some people who really, really, really take that Book of Revelations as if like it's the real deal, like it's the message from Jesus, and I'm the type of person to raise my hand and ask objective questions. So they didn't like that, and they were slowly showing me less and less support. And I finally got the message, but I didn't know like around what time that I felt like I wanted to break away from them until recently. And without going too much into details, I had like a mental or a spiritual breakdown. I was really feeling kind of hurt, and it was around the same time I had to make a real decision. Am I going to go with the Urantia book from now on, or are you going to try to make amends with the group and kind of suck up your ego, like just kind of put everything to the side? And I just felt like, nah, I can't keep going on with this group. I keep having issues with certain members and reoccurring arguments, and I've had a really um, I had a hard time thinking what kind of friends were they at first and who are they now to me. Um, what really hurt me at the end was that the guy who actually introduced me to this men's group, he was the same dude who found me at a probation school. He was mentoring me. He was twice my age. No, I was 16. Yeah, he had to be like 32 at the time. He had to be like, yeah, he was about twice my age. He still is twice my age. Duh, Cord. No, wait, no, that's not right. I'm gonna have to do the math on that one. But anyways, so the pastor and I had a fallout, and I had to find out the hard way. And he didn't say much to me. It was just his distancing, and that really hurt me because I know what I have done in the past to disappoint people. But with this one, I just felt like fuck. It's just not the same anymore. It's not the same anymore, and I don't blame them. I really don't. But anyways, that's for like another day for me to talk about. It got really personal. So yeah, a month ago, I got on the phone with both him and another guy who I was really cool with, and I just told him, "Look, I'm just having issues. I can't do this. I don't think we're on the same page." And then it got a little bit more serious and within that conversation, I ended up having like a verbal standoff with him over the phone, and yeah, we just ended off like that. And here I am. Like right after that, I think it was like a week after that, I started feeling alone again. I started um, revisiting the same old symptoms that I had years ago when when I really felt like I was doing this all by myself. The Rancher book and not being able to get along well with other groups. A lot of the other groups that I had participated in were just a lot of old people, old, and they were just super sensitive. I can't even, I don't want to go into details about how I viewed them. Is I don't think that's fair. You know, some other people might like them, might like them, but I just couldn't stand it no more. I couldn't. It was some individuals used to call me every day to talk about the Urantia book, and I found that to be overwhelming. Some individuals only want to talk about the Urantia book and only want to insert their own opinion, but not allow others to speak or express a different opinion. Like I've had hosts invite me to their house, and I would get shut down, and other people don't really express themselves that much either around these hosts because again, you know, that it's not the holier than thou. It's more like an asshole kind of thing. Like, bro, like you're bringing us over here just to keep us fucking hostage for this, for the sake of you going through some UB reading. Like, I don't know. I think that needs to be looked into. It's like there are individuals who get a high off of, or like they need that fix. Like they'll go through any length to get what they want, you know, and I feel like a lot of the older generations were kind of doing that. Like they would invite you to come to their house and they'll be extra nice to you, but you know, all they want you to do is just follow along with them. They get something out of it, you know. Like I just don't know how to explain it, but I think you guys know what I mean. Again, this is going back to like why I personally feel that a group should allow any one individual to express themselves without judgment. And I think everybody should be allowed to have their different opinions and their disagreements with others, just as long as they're, you know, we're able to still agree to the terms, like, yo, you know, keep it peaceful, be friendly, remember how why you guys came together. So the UB definitely will. What was I trying to say? Yeah, the UB will definitely prevail for sure. And in my conversations with people, that's one thing I want to let you know. I'm not an asshole like you think I might seem, but like for all the right reasons that I pointed out, bro. Like if you can't, I'll be respectful enough for you, but you got to do the same for me without you thinking that, oh, I shut you down or whatever. Like the fuck, you know. Some people get offensive defensive, or what's the word? Defensive offensive. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm guilty of it too. Don't worry. It's not like I've never done it before. I've done a lot of fuck shit. So yeah, you know, I'm gonna cut this video. Thank you for listening. If you were listening and you found this very beneficial to your soul because you needed to hear your Rancher book reader be more like himself than somebody who he's not, then I hope you benefit. I hope this makes you feel more comfortable in your own skin. And whatever it is that you're doing today, either you're working or you're at home or you're elsewhere, you know, just I hope you find yourself grounded. I hope you really find yourself grounded and know that you really are in communication with your TA. I find that my thought adjuster has been talking to me every day, and I'm able to separate my thoughts from his thoughts. And my biggest problem is getting over my fears, my prejudice, you know, I cause my own anxiety, you know, just for doing stupid shit, and I can't. Deep down, sometimes I can relate to Judas. You know, Judas is a sore loser, and sometimes I have been a sore loser myself. So that's a lot where my anxiety comes from. It's like, fuck, I don't want to feel like a failure. You know, especially not on a Monday, Tuesday. It's too early for that shit. Um, we're gonna get in deep. We're gonna get to know each other. Don't worry, and feel free to comment whatever you want to comment on my comment section. I really do read these things, and even if I don't reply to you right away, just know that we're all connected. We truly are. I do believe that we have other factors outside of us that do communicate with each other, and I think those factors helps us come close, come together, or come across each other, however you want to look at it. But anyways, I'm gonna stop here. 30 minutes in. I don't want to keep you guys too long. So thank you for listening to my shenanigans, and I'll make another video after this. Peace.